I'm very excited to introduce Matthew Cummings. He's our moderator for this evening. He's a senior marketing communications specialist at Erie Insurance, and he teaches WVU IMC 610. So welcome, Matthew.
Thank you, Emily. It's great to be here and great to meet everyone and our student panelists as well. At this time, I would ask our student panelists to introduce themselves. And before they do, Emily mentioned at the beginning the faculty that teach in the IMC program are very accomplished professionals. And you know what else is really interesting and sometimes an eye-opener for students, especially new students, is that they are learning as much from other students in the classroom as they are from their instructors. And I think our three panelists tonight really are great examples of that, and you'll see that as they introduce themselves. So I would like to ask Debbie to start. Debbie Cruz is a head writer and editor for University Relations at West Virginia University. And Debbie, if you could share a little bit of information about yourself.
Okay, sure. I'm actually at West Virginia University Potomac State College, which is their Kaiser campus. And of course, that's in West Virginia. I've worked as the writer-editor and public relations and marketing specialist for 18 years in the communications department there. And I truly enjoy writing about the success of our students, our alumni, staff, and our faculty. I graduated with a bachelor's degree in 2015 in English from WVU. And after a year, I began thinking about a master's program. And I wasn't sure what I wanted to go into, and I visited my daughter in Morgantown one weekend, and we talked about it. And she had graduated from the IMC program, I think, maybe back in 2014 or 2010, somewhere around there. And so I looked it up, and after looking at the program and seeing what all I could take and what all I could learn, I enrolled this past summer.
Excellent. Thank you, Debbie.
Sure.
Our second panelist this evening is David Hovis, and David is communications manager at Team Penske Racing. David, if you could share a little bit more about yourself and what brought you to the IMC program.
Sure. Thank you very much, Matthew, and thanks for everyone who joined the panel tonight. Like Matthew said, my name is David Hovis. I handle all the communications and public relations for the sports car program at Team Penske. We also compete in NASCAR. We compete in IndyCar. I've worked on both of those programs in the past across a number of drivers. I graduated from UNC Charlotte in 2001 with a degree in history, and just somehow fell into motorsports, and I've been in motorsports ever since. And having a history background or degree and not necessarily one devoted to communications or my chosen field, I've always kind of second-guessed myself on a number of decisions, so I felt like now was the time to go back to school, use my experience to get into a master's program to kind of expand myself in my, like I said, in my current field. And after some quick searching, I found the highly regarded program at WVU. So I'm just finished up my second class, so I'm a pretty new student. I've found that it's been exactly what I was looking for, and I'm looking forward to the next year starting.
Great. Thank you, David. And finally, Alexandria Savage Davis. Alexandria is a reporter at CN2. And Alexandria, if you could share a little bit more about yourself and what brought you to the IMC program.
Absolutely. So I'm Alexandria. Nice to meet you all, kind of. So I live in Rock Hill, South Carolina. I originally got into the program because I was living in Parkersburg, West Virginia. And it's a very small town, and there wasn't much to do after living in Myrtle Beach for 12 years, so I figured what better to do than continue my education. I started in the program not realizing how much IMC actually was intertwined in the news business in terms of building a brand, you know, marketing yourself to a specific audience, marketing your product, which is the newscast, to a specific audience. So I just kind of fell into it, and the more I took classes, the more I learned, the more connections I made, the more I was able to kind of impact my following. And I was able to triple my following in 1 year. I went from, well, actually more than triple. I went from like 200 followers and likes on my fan page to over 3,000. So it was kind of really amazing to be able to see these different concepts and techniques come into play and actually improve my abilities as a reporter. As I said, I'm from Chicago. I lived in Myrtle Beach. I graduated from Winthrop University, which is right here in Rock Hill, South Carolina. We like to call it Rock Thrill. And I've worked in news for about 3 years. I started in Myrtle Beach before moving to Parkersburg, West Virginia, and working at WTAP News for a year. I moved back to the Palmetto State because it was too cold up there in the Mountain State. And now I'm here working as a newscaster and doing some producing. I get to do a lot more in the community, and I love it. And I've almost finished with this program. God willing, I'll graduate in May. And yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions. I'm here.
Excellent. Thank you, Alexandria, and thank you all three of the panelists tonight for spending some time with us.